Hello and a very warm welcome to the West End International Cricket Stadium here in Doha, Qatar, where we are live for this much-awaited bilateral series between Oman and Qatar women. Oman a bit early on, winning the toss and deciding to make the first use of this beautiful-looking surface. And what a toss to win. Looks like an absolute belter of a surface as Amna Kashi starting proceedings off for Qatar. Gunasekar and Joshi are the two batters out there for Oman. It's the 20-over contest, of course, the first of 5 T20 internationals. A bit slow on that occasion, waiting on it. Good sound of the bat, not much early movement on offer. All in all, telltale signs of a high-scoring contest, this. Once again, wide and slow this time, playing it away for a single. She gets off the mark. Does Gunasekar. Gentle medium pace from Amna Kashi. As the first over comes to a close. Aisha, the skipper, then coming on to bowl the second over of the innings. It's a sedate start at the beginning of the innings. The captain of Oman, Priyanka Edna, mentioned how they would like to go just above run a ball. That's exactly what they got at the first over. This time it's driven. So far in the first 2 overs, there's hardly been any movement on offer for the bowlers. Wonder what Qatar women can do to make early inroads when the pitch itself is technically a road. Oh, a bit of shape, bit of movement there, but a full toss, nicely driven. Gets away for a single. Would have probably liked to get more out of that. As it turns out, only a single. Well, Joshi has been a mere spectator at the other end. This is her first ball of the innings. And Aisha making sure she gets her fielders right exactly where she wants them. No slips in position. Understandably so, there's hardly any movement of the surface. Oh, yoked her first ball. And a bit of a mix-up, is it? Finally, no damage done. But for a moment, it seemed like they were all over the place with their calling. Where we see they haven't really got any fielders outside the 30-yard circle as of now. In fact, there is deep square leg going back as we speak. A bit of shape again, a huge appeal for LBW. She's almost pleading. That was a close shout. Playing across the line. Not something you want to do to a swinging ball. However, she survived to live another day. Let's have another angle on it. And probably going down leg side. Fair decision by the umpire. Once again, that shape played with the straight bat, straight back to the bowler. No damage done. Aisha, she's known for picking up early wickets. A proud Qatari captain. She would have liked to bat first, she said, at the toss. And understandably so, although the temperatures have gone down compared to early afternoon, but it's still pretty hot out there. Second over then comes to an end. Oman are 9 for none. Now Nakashi continues in her second over, and an opportunity, a mix-up. It's all happening here in this first T20 International. What was going on? A poor cricket all around. It was an average delivery, so was an average shot. And almost a run out. All in a span of one ball. Could you believe it? Yep, that should have been taken really, and then ball ricocheting off the bowler's hand, going on to hit the stumps. I wonder why there wasn't an appeal for a run out there. And I wonder if the batter was outside a crease. Anyways, it's all done and dusted. As we move on, another single. Seem to be living up to their plan so far, Oman. They said they wanted to rotate strike, wanted to pinch singles early on, go just over, run a ball. They're there and thereabout. But the power play these days is the name of the game is to go after the bowling, get as many runs as possible. Hasn't happened so far. Single, a leading edge. She was guilty of doing that, Gunasekar, in the last over. There was a huge appeal. Was lucky the ball was drifting down leg side. Huge congratulations once again to Qatar for organizing this bilateral series. Very proud of their cricket. The Qataris. We saw that with the recently concluded Rising Stars Asia Cup. Magnificent arrangements were made on that occasion. Joshi getting away, playing that ball, finding the gap, a diving effort, gets through to the 2 for the 4-2. So, yeah, talking about Qatar and how well they managed that Asia Cup Rising Stars. It was a tournament much talked about all over the globe. A tournament won by Pakistan in the end. It was an absolute spectacle of a festival, that was. As we get back to the game, Amnakashi losing her radar, bowling a wide down leg side. comes again, driven. And there is protection out there at the boundary. Yes, there is. But they might as well come back for the second. They're shouting for two, and they do comfortably in the end. She's into her second over. She's conceded 15 so far. Not a bad shout in the power play. Down leg side once again, not getting that line right. Another wide. Wonder what they have to do to pick up a wicket here. Qatar. Change of pace, mix it up. Get the batters out of their comfort zone. However, it's not so bad if it's another dot ball. End of over number 3. They're 19 now, Oman, for the none. Aisha then into her second over. The captain played away through the onside, just a single. There have been plenty of those so far in the span of this innings. Only 3.1 overs bowled. But they're still without a wicket, Qatar. And Oman at this stage wouldn't be too unhappy, because they've got all 10 in the tank. Down leg side yet again, a bit ambitious from Aisha. She's been a little guilty, Joshi, of playing across the line. But she's lived to survive. As you look at that replay yet again, should have been put away. Was a bad delivery, really. Up in the air. She would have had her heart in her mouth for a second. But the ball landing safely in the end, and they go through for another single. I wonder if they can cut that single off. Bring that fielder at long off and bring her into the 30-yard circle to stop that single. Because the intent so far from the Omani women has largely been to rotate the strike and not go for those big shots. Nicely bowled, beaten the batter, a bit of shape yet again for Aisha. She's got that ball to move away from the left-hander and into the right-hander so far in this innings. And she's been good with her control as well. Driven with soft hand, and this time she's found the gap. Has she hit it well enough? Yes, she has. First boundary then for Oman. Hardly seemed to have hit it, just caressed it rather. But it was enough. She's unhappy with her fielder, Aisha, there. Expecting a better effort, and rightly so. That ball wasn't really bludgeoned through the offside. It was mere timing. Does affect your confidence as a bowler and as a captain as well. She'd been quite economical. This time driven and beautifully fielded. diving to her left, the fielder, and stopping an almost certain boundary. End of another over. At the end of 4, Oman are 25 for none. It's Amnakashi to continue in a third over. A huge shout. Probably just going down leg side. The umpiring has been good so far. There have been a couple of close shouts, but they've been quite calm and unperturbed. The umpires. Just the one boundary so far in this innings. As we read through to you the names in the 2 lineup. Let's do that after this ball. Qatari team led by Aisha, their captain, also the opening bowler, Maria Teresa, Khadija Jetro Chandiro, Christina Isa, Krishita Shahreen, Amna Kashif, Tafaul Al-Khair, Rishfa Bano, Trupti Kale, and Fatima Khalid is the 12th player. Oman, on the other hand, led by Priyanka Edna, have some decent cricketers in their side as well. We've got Fizza, Jaya Dunia, Trupti Babaji, Cynthia Mary, Amanda DeCosta, Samira Khan, Hina Javed, Nitya Joshi, Alifia Asif Said, Lujena, and Khushi Cherish. Pretty well balanced sides, Oman and Qatar. And so far it's been a reasonable start for both sides, and once again square on the offside. That gap was found in the last over, and it has been found once again, yet again, by Joshi. Just waiting on it, playing it late, as we feast our eyes onto that one, leaning forward and opening the face of the bat just at the last moment. And once that ball goes past the 30-yard circle, I'll tell you what, this outfield in Doha, Qatar is faster than a Ferrari on any highway. This time goes across the line, just a single. So a bit of momentum. Now for the Oman side. A lot of cricket being played in the world these days, and obviously the T20 World Cup is also underway at the moment. Oman are in action, not just here, but also in the men's T20 World Cup, playing Zimbabwe. Unfortunately, losing to Zimbabwe by 8 wickets, 103 they scored. Thanks to some brilliant bowling performance by Zimbabwe, who cruised to the total in 13.3 overs as another over comes to an end. Over number 5 gone. 35 they are now, Oman, for no wicket down. But the last over of the power play then, they're no wicket down, Oman. They've got the license to go now and get as many as possible in this last over. Aisha has been replaced with the introduction of some spin. Still quite happy to drive it along the ground. Gunasekar. As Khatija comes into the attack. Down leg side, the umpire exercising his arms. Signal as a wide. It's not an easy art. Leg spin. But it's an art that pays dividends. Good piece of bowling, lighting it up, inviting the batter to come forward and play it down the ground. I like this from Khatija. Not afraid to toss that ball up in the air. I'll tell you what. Full toss using her feet. But there is protection down at the boundary. A bit of desperation shown, and so often it happens with the last over of the power play, and so often it happens with the leg spinner coming in that a side loses a wicket. I won't be surprised if Qatar gets their first one in this over. Joshi is on strike. She's gotten 2 boundaries. Gunasekar has been quite subdued. Aisha wants to make sure she gets the field right absolutely how she wants it to be. Quite meticulous about it, taking her time. Seems to have a calm head on her shoulder. Seems to be leading by example. Oh, almost a catch. That short extra cover. She was positioned there just for that shot. Excellent captaincy. The result not quite going their way, but the plan was spot on. Inviting the drive. And almost the first wicket that they were after, Qatar. Using her feet in a thumping opportunity. It's all happening. With a leg spinner coming into ball. The second opportunity gone begging. Was a straightforward chance. 2 in 2 then. Last ball of the over coming up. It's been an eventful one. Every ball has been an event in this over. In she comes again and she drives it. Was that in the air? The reaction suggests so. Well. What a last over of the power play then. 6 overs done. 38 are Oman for none. At 38 for none at the end of the power play, both sides would be reasonably happy. As Shaheen comes onto ball, her second over, up in the air. This is an opportunity, should be taken. Oh no, she's dropped it. That was an absolute sitter there. What have you done? A reasonable opportunity. She had ample amount of time to get underneath it, just not keeping her eyes on the ball. Going with hard hands and dropping an absolute sitter there. Opportunities aplenty in the last 2 overs for Qatar. They haven't been able to capitalize, mainly due to some poor fielding. Well, sloppy yet again, allowing more runs. Going back to that dropped catch, it was easier to catch than the flu in the winter. Served on a silver platter, really, but she still dropped it. Right, things are happening now for Qatar. It's just that their fielders have let them down big time. What can they do to break out of the spell? Joshi is quite happy once again playing that ball square on the offside. Another single. Just going back to the toss once again, and what Priyanka said, she wanted it to go run a ball and just above, and so far they've been able to follow the plan, and with all 10 wickets in the tank, they've got the license to go. Driven for yet another single. The run rate at the moment going at 6.62 with 13.2 overs remaining. Just wonder what kind of a total Oman would be eyeing. It has to be somewhere, as we look at that shot, full toss, played away through the onside, coming back for the second. Yeah, just going back to that expected total for Oman, they would be at least eyeing a figure of around 150, 160 at this stage with all 10 wickets in tank, but you never know, a couple of wickets, things can change dramatically. But as of now, they're well in the driver's seat as that over ends with another drive. At the end of 7:46, they are Oman for none. Right, Khatija into her second over. Created chances in her first one. And I won't be surprised if more of that happens in this over. A strong feeling she will pick up a wicket sooner or later. She's known to do that for her side. She's making things happening, but not that. That's not how she can, though. Poor delivery, wrong line. Thank you very much, says Gunaseka, who collects yet another boundary. Help on its way. Down to the deep fine leg boundary, and all the good work being undone here. She's been the better of the two batters so far. Joshi has looked much more convincing, batting at a better strike rate, and has played the ball on merit. I like the way how she doesn't try and force the issue, plays the ball on its merit. And that's important even in the day of T20s and fast-paced cricket. The basics of cricket remain the same. Quite like that fielder at short extra cover, particularly with Khatija bowling and tossing that ball up. She's always in business. Good use of the feet. Getting through for another single. Once again, wrong line, and once again, almost an action replay of the shot she played earlier. This time, didn't quite have the legs on it, but talking about the legs, it's been helped by the fielder. Oh no, what was happening there? It was a straightforward fielding opportunity there for the fielder, but she's actually ended up kicking it into the boundary fence. Somebody tell her the FIFA World Cup in Qatar was over since 2022. Oh, she's bowled her. She's cleaned her up. Had a strong feeling that she was the right person for Qatar to pick up a wicket. And that's exactly what's happened. Creating chances. Qatari fielders dropping them, but in the end she said, you know what, I might as well hit the stumps. First wicket down, and it's a big one as well. Joshi walking back to the pavilion. They're 57 now, Oman, for 1. Let's have a look at that replay as we're back live. Going across the line, immensely disappointed with herself. But first blood drawn by Qatar. First wicket to them, and Khatija once again delivering under pressure. Well, another spinner into the attack then. Kandiru into her first over. And yet another misfield. This is quite sloppy there. Not someone you'd expect it from Khatija. She's just picked up a wicket. The new batter in. She's not on strike at the moment. Gunasekar is. This time it's driven a valiant effort, diving to her left and stopping a couple of runs in the process. Right, the new batter Javed is on strike right now. What a time to come in. Hina Javed facing her first ball and gets off the mark straight away. That's not something you want to do with a new batter at the crease. Still trying to find her feet. Might be a good idea to apply some pressure and stop those singles. She wouldn't mind it though, Hina. Off the mark. First ball, and that's been the name of the game for Gunasekar. Using her feet, this time meeting the ball at the full and timing it majestically all along the carpet. And she's finally beginning to find the meat of the bat. Played straight down the ground. Going through for a single. And yet another single. No. She's found the gap. And this might as well run away to the boundary. Yes, another boundary of the over, the second one. A productive one for Oman. They're 70 now for one at the end of 9. Let's look at that replay again. Waiting on it, playing it late, finding the gap, the fielder giving it a chase. But in the end, it just had enough legs to get to the boundary. Well, this is interesting. Khatija in the last over picked up a wicket. I'll tell you what, she's been replaced. And what a half tracker to start the new over. An absolute gift. Thank you very much, says the batter. And Oman all of a sudden are on the rise. Their run rate's getting better. Although a wicket has fallen. But struggling to understand these tactics, really. As Rabi Manuel comes into the attack, bowls an absolute half tracker to start. And yet again, it was slow. And there to be hit, would be a little disappointed with herself, Gunasekar. She is finally catching up with the strike rate too. using her feet. She's done that well all throughout this inning so far, Gunasekar. But I'm sure she would breathe a sigh of relief with the removal of Khatija. Another over here, and she might as well been able to get rid of Gunasekar, the set batter. Anyways, they probably think they need him later, need her later in the innings. Slow, played into the gap. Hina Javed getting through for another single. The run rate just after the power play was around 7, around 6.45. It's climbed up to almost 8. So those wickets in the tank have paid dividends. Good piece of running there. Playing it in the gap, running the first run hard and coming back for the second. That's how you do it. Lets that one go through to the keeper. Wide signal. Has been a rather expensive over so far. 4-0-1-1-2. And a wide. 9 runs coming off it. That's been her go-to shot, using her feet to almost every delivery, and has been consistently able to pick up those singles. As over number 10, we're at the halfway stage. Oman are 80 for loss of 1. Break, and so often it happens with the break. Batters losing their concentration, and it's the big wicket as well. Gunasekar, she was all set, trying to play a cut shot to a ball which wasn't there. It's too close for a cut. But a break, as it does so often, brings a wicket for Qatar. It was a harmless delivery. She was looking for runs. Gunaseka. And yeah, just playing down the wrong line and chopping it onto the stumps. And although the run rate has gotten better in the last few overs, Qatar has been able to pick up a couple of wickets. And one of them by Maria Jacobs in the first over. She quite out for a shot there. The umpire probably thinks she did. Leg by signal, in fact. It's over number 11, the second half of the innings, so crucial. It's almost a fresh start for the innings. The two set batters back in the hut. And they've got a bit of build-up job to do now, Oman. Hina is the batter out there. It was short and perhaps keeping a bit low, trying to cut that ball. Hina was probably expecting it to rise a little, didn't happen. And almost another wicket there for Qatar. You've got to be careful with Maria. She's quite capable of picking up wickets, because he had that ability to bring that ball back into the right-handers and move it slightly away from the left-handers, and that too at a relatively flatter trajectory. Hina is mindful of that. She's still fresh at the crease. It's been a really decent over, though. A good passage of play for Qatar. Only 2 runs of this over, and the prize scalp of Gunaseka as well. Last ball of the over. Yorker, and an excellent finish to what was turning out to be a great over. Just the 2 runs and a wicket. Oman are 83 for the loss of 2 after 11. She likes to play that shot, does Javed. Square on the offside. Goes through for a single, and Qatar wouldn't really mind it with Hina on strike. She's played a few dot balls already, 4 of them. Might be an opportunity for Aisha to probably bring her fielders in, apply some pressure. I think it's the right move to bring back Khatija into the attack. The spearhead, in my opinion, of this bowling attack, picked up the first wicket. And they'd be hoping that she picks up another couple of them right here. Tossed up in the air and just falling short of the fielder. She would have had her heart in her mouth for a minute. In the end, though, no damage done, but she's getting agitated. She's still not off the mark. And she's faced 5 deliveries. Something's got to give here. Oh, what's happening there? That ball missing the stumps just by a whisker. And then all of a sudden they thought, you know what, we should run through for a single. And it could have been a close case of a run out too. There's been nothing short of drama here tonight. A few misfields. A few sloppy shots as well coming along the way. But amidst it all, some excellent piece of cricket played by both sides. That was a googly, well read by Javed there, and working it away into the gap. It's important to neutralize this threat of Khatija for Oman. They are aware she's the spearhead, the main bowler of this Qatari attack. They can play her out. They might as well take the chances against others. This time it was a full toss though. A hit me ball. And Javed slogging it down to the deep mid-wicket boundary to end that over. 91 they are now for the loss of 2. It was there to be hit though. Just picking her spot, finding the gap. And exactly what the doctor ordered for Oman at that stage, ending the over with the boundary. This time it's smashed. Has he found the gap? No! What was happening? Yet another mix-up. It was hit hard, and Hina, I think, thought because it was hit hard, she had an opportunity to go through for a single. If you could get a camera angle on it, she's probably rubbing her shin at the moment, so that's not good news for Qatar. Seemed to have hit her hard on the shin. The physio is out there. Got to be careful with the ball traveling as fast as it was. Stopping it with her legs rather than hands can land you in some trouble. And she's not the person they want to lose at this stage, Qatar, their captain. The physio is out there. The players all surrounding the captain. Hopefully she's all right. Hopefully she's able to continue, and it does seem like she is ready to go. So, all well that ends well. Well, we're back in play. Hina batting on 1. She's faced 7 deliveries, so she must be under a bit of pressure now to break free. This is the 13th over, and she goes hard in the same direction, but a different result. This time, Aisha didn't get a hand to it. It was bludgeoned, absolutely smashed. And that ball fairly raced away to the boundary. Well, she definitely packs a punch, does Hina. Would have given her some confidence as well. She was being bogged down, played out a few dot balls. But that boundary would give her a world of confidence. Comes Mario again, and a full toss. And way down the offside, signal is a wide. That's what happens when a side is able to pick up a boundary early in the piece. The pressure's on the bowler. She's still got to bowl 5 more balls. 4, I beg your pardon. And she knows Hina is looking to attack her. As we look at this field, there's deep extra cover in place. Long off. A person at third man, and deep fine leg as well. She goes over the top. Would be looking to come back for the second. And she does. This is a close call. It was a bit of a yes and no. And the keeper makes an absolute meal of it. Wow. A golden opportunity there for a wicket for Qatar. Poor piece of running as well. Let's have a look at that again. There was 2 there, always 2 on the cards. But Hina wasn't too interested. She turned her partner back, realizing quite late in the piece that that second one was never on. Down leg side, Maria once again conceding another wide in this over. A bit of shape there, the ball leaving the batter just to the right, just at the last second, adjusting her shot. Was Javed getting through for a single? It's been a long over so far for Maria. It's been an eventful one as well. Not short of drama and action as she goes through for a leg bye. A couple of balls ago, we saw a battle of who made fewer mistakes. Quite a few. It was a nice shot to start with by Hina. Square drive. There was always two on the cards, but she sent the batter late. She sent the batter late back late, and then all of a sudden the fielder missed her mark. The throw was sent in, but not cleanly collected by the keeper. Anyways, finally the over comes to an end. It's been a 9-ball over as we counted. Over number 13 finishes. Oman crossing the 100 mark. They're 102 for the loss of 2. Right then, a crucial stage of the game. Aisha bringing herself back into the attack, realizing that she needs a wicket. Another little partnership building here. Javed on 16 of 10, batting at a decent strike rate. And Hina, on the other hand, has made her intentions clear, seems to possess some power and ability to clear the field. We saw that with a couple of his drives in the last over. The intensity has been top-notch so far in this game. Both sides giving their best. Adrenaline levels have been going through the roof. The last 7 overs coming up. Qatar, if they pick up a couple of wickets here, they would still feel that they are well in the game. Oman, on the other hand, at the back of their mind would be thinking they've got 8 wickets in the tank. There isn't much in the pitch as well for the bowlers. The ball coming onto the bat nicely. It's been an excellent T20 surface, but the pitch has been taken out of the equation on a few occasions by the bowlers, bowling quite a few of those full tosses. Aisha taking her time as she usually likes to do, changing the field around, bringing her fielders in. She's got a short mid-wicket in place now. Moved that fielder from deep square leg. Deep point as well. No extra cover, that's where Hina likes to go. Nicely bowled, asking questions within the line of the stumps. You miss, I hit. It's interesting that fielder at short extra cover. She's in the firing line. Oh, across the stumps she goes. We'll have to wait and see the replays of that one. Aisha naturally moves the ball away from the left-handers. So very unlikely that it was a case of that ball going down leg side. And she comes again. Oh, a bit of shape. She's still getting that shape. It started early on. She was getting the ball to move back in late into the right-handers, and she continues to do that. Oh, a big appeal, but clearly going down leg side. The umpiring in this contest has been absolutely top-notch. Fourteenth over in progress. And another full toss. Going over the fielder this time, no ball signaled. And tell you what, it's going to be a free hit. An opportunity for the Omani batters to break the shackles. It's been a couple of overs since the last boundary. And here's an opportunity, and I get the feeling they've got the right person on strike as well, the right batter in Hina. Seems to have the ability and the firepower to clear the field. She's taking her time. So is Aisha, setting that field. I'm sure she's trying to catch her breath as well, Hina. Where is she going to go? Over extra cover? That's my bet. Oh, she gives it a wild slog. Misses everything. Goes through for a bye. And no damage done in the end. A free hit goes in vain. She's tiring out here, is Hina, by the looks of things. She's taking her time. We saw that with the running between the wickets as well. And I'm not sure how her captain would be perceiving it at this stage. With the last 6 overs coming up, she goes up in the air. Is that an opportunity? The fielder running back, and she's taken an absolute blinder. What a catch. What a magnificent catch that was. Just when Hina was looking threatening, They've been able to get rid of her. It's never easy, those catches. She had to run back. Kept her nerve and her eyes as well on it till the very last moment. It popped out for a minute, and so would have her heart for a second. But how well did she keep a hold of her nerves and going off in the celebratory run, rightly so. Well, they've gotten rid of the dangerous batter then. And that brings to the crease a new batter, Mendonca. Gets off the mark first ball. Might as well be a blessing in disguise because they were being hampered by Hina's running between the wickets. She had to go, did the right thing. But in the end, had to perish courtesy. Excellent catching. Haven't really said that all throughout this game for Qatar, but for a change, they've raised their standards in the fielding. As you see, even there, the dive was in, stopping that ball from going to the boundary. It's been an excellent comeback on the fitness front for Qatar. This time there was a bit of width and an opportunity. Wow, wow, wow. Just when we were praising them. Not an easy chance, mind you. It was belted hard through the offside, going to the skipper. Might feel like an opportunity, but they either stick or they don't. On that occasion, it didn't. Well, the spirit of the game has been played in an excellent spirit so far. They have a lot of respect for each other, these women. Quite happy to help each other out with their equipment, tying laces. These little things go such a long way to hold the standards of the game and help teams play it in the way it should be played. They're quite competitive. They're making lots of noise in the pavilion, that's for sure. And they have every right to do so. And as long as they don't cross a line and stay respectful on the field, it's okay. A bit of banter has done no one any harm ever. And a bit of a mix-up there. Excellent fielding by the captain. Recovering herself. Aiming at the stumps and hitting it bullseye, all in one motion. 110 they are now, Oman, for the loss of 3 after 15. Well, the last 5 overs coming up, 110 for 3 are Oman at this stage, having won the toss, electing to bat first. They wanted to go at around a run a ball, which I thought was probably a little less ambitious because these are excellent batting conditions. They've got their wish though, and they're going slightly over, well over 6 and over. They're going at 7.33. quite happy in general with their progress in this game so far. The pitch still pretty much looks solid, hard, and well in place as a hit-me ball, a gift there by Aisha. A no-ball signal too. Not being able to find the meat of the bat, the batter, but they've gotten a freebie. Have Oman. The second free hit of the innings. The first one went begging. But here's another opportunity. Maybe there's a bit of dew coming into play as well, as Aisha asked for a towel to wipe that ball off. There is a bit of moisture. That's usually not a bad sign for a batting side, because the ball stops swinging. Well, a free hit delivery. She's been able to carve it through the offside. Has that gone to the boundary? Yes, it has. A welcome boundary for Oman. It was carved through the covers like a blade through silk. Not a bad ball, but staying on that back foot and helicoptering it towards that square boundary, giving it absolutely everything. It was almost like a digging out act, that shot. So much to like about it. Once again, she goes through the offside. Seems to have decent bat speed, does Mendonca. And the kind of batter they would like to have in the middle at this stage. Quite capable of finishing the innings on a high. Another full toss. Looking for the second. Decide against it, and rightly so. Seven runs of the over so far. This is Aisha's last over. She'll be bowling out after this. Khadija's still got one over left in the tank. They might go back to her. Straight down the ground she goes. It's up in the air. There's someone coming underneath it. And tell you what, it's been taken. It's that girl once again, Ilsa. Safe as a house. They're not dropping any more chances tonight, our Qatar. Putting their act together. And they're almost taking everything coming their way. This wasn't a difficult chance on that occasion. Let's feast our eyes onto that one. Not quite middling it. Going high up in the air, keeping her eyes on the ball till the very last moment. And right into the bucket. Clean as a whistle. Right, Aisha then picking up a wicket, and wow, almost another one. An excellent finish to an excellent spell by Aisha. 4 overs, 23 runs for a wicket. Oman are 119 for 4 at the end of 16. Trupti Babaji is the new batter for Oman. She's got herself not much time to get her eye in. Just the last four overs to go, and she's got to whack at almost everything that comes her way. As Shaheen is going to bowl on after this over. It was an excellent spell of bowling by the captain earlier, finishing her 4 overs, conceding less than 1 a ball and picking up the price scalp in the last over. This time it was wide, straight to the fielder, though a direct hit, and she's gone. Misses, not by much. It was a close call. The intensity has been something to like about this Qatar side. They didn't start off that well with catching and fielding, but they were consistent, as there's an appeal for LBW. And that consistency has paid dividends. They've been able to pick up a couple of late wickets just when the surge was on. And now, with a couple of good overs, they might as well be able to restrict Oman to a total of under 140 maybe, or 145. And under lights, that's pretty good, but that's a huge appeal! And plumb in front of the stumps. That ball was going nowhere but knocking the top of the bills. Another wicket, another timely wicket has to be said for Qatar. What a magnificent comeback as we view that replay of the wicket once again. It was pretty full, straight, and going on to hit the top of middle stump. All 3 boxes ticked. And another new batter in and a mix-up. This should be a sure run out. Is it? No! What is happening? The Omani team are losing their focus, gifting away wickets, and they are well and truly on the back foot. That ball went straight to the fielder. They are going nowhere with that running, and Qatar, in the meantime, are well on top. Oh, another play and a miss, and an excellent finish to that over. Shaheen bowls out, 21 she conceded and picked up 2 wickets. Oman are 122 for the loss of 5 at the end of 17. Over number 18 starting now. Kandira coming back into the attack. This is her 2nd over. The panic buttons have been switched on for Oman. They were cruising along at one stage, but thanks to some excellent catching and fielding, Qatar has been able to claw their way back into the field, and another opportunity. This time it was played with soft hands, so ample time for the batters to go across for a single. Well, the good news for Oman is that Fiza Javed is still out there. She's a set batter, taking her time. She needs to finish strongly for them. Up in the air, just a single as Samira Khan gets off the mark. Not enough time for the sighters, and they've got a couple of gun fielders in their side. Qatar. And they've delivered on the day. So important, the first game of a bilateral series so often determines the winning side from the losing side. And the intensity and marked improvement in this Qatar side has been quite evident. This time it was a bit wide, played over extra cover, not quite timed, but they will have enough time to come back for the second, at least. Yes, they do. Just referring back to the kind of determination with which this Qatar side has played. They haven't played a perfect brand of cricket, but they've played consistently and shown a lot of resilience. This time it was wide, played in the same direction. They've been quite relentless in their approach, Qatar, and that's always good to see in a side. Giving their 100%. One side do that, they give themselves more than a chance of achieving great heights and achieving great things. And at this stage, I would say, Qatar probably have their noses in front as over number 18 comes to a close. They are 130 now, Oman, for the loss of 5. The last 2 overs in progress. Oman has a set batter in Fiza Javed, who's batting on 26. Samira is relatively new to the crease. The run rate has come down. It was around 8 at one point of time, around 10 overs, but it's close to 7 now. How well has Qatar come back into this game? And they would want to finish strongly, not to give away all the good work that they've done so far in this game. Maria Jacko into her 3rd over. She's been economical so far. Down leg side, wide. She has the ability to bowl full and straight. Has the ability to jack that ball back in to the right-handers. Picked up an early wicket. It was played on. Samira Khan looks to be someone who favors the onside region, so she's got to be a bit careful with the LBW coming into play. Going for a single, played with soft hands. Once again, it was good to see the intensity of that fielder at covers. Running in hard, showing no signs of sluggishness. And not giving easy runs away. Comes again, down leg side, off radar. There is a fielder down at the fine leg boundary, but she has failed to get to the ball. And an absolute gift given away by Qatar just when they were doing so great. I wonder if that fine leg would have been a bit straighter with Maria bringing that ball back into the right-hander the way she does. Captain wouldn't really mind runs coming off the bat at this stage. It's the extras that can really hurt in this later half of the innings. In she comes again, and dot ball. A good comeback. That's really important. You've got to keep your head and nerves. So often can hamper your confidence. And once again losing her radar. Another wide. This is her third wide in the over. It's still a little hot, although usually in the evening it gets a bit cooler in Qatar. But it's been a different kind of a day today. Slightly warmer than yesterday and the last few days, actually. She's got to get her act together now, Maria. And that's where she wants to be, within the line of the stumps. Just a single. That won't hurt Qatar at this stage, although the target now slowly but surely move into that 150 runs mark. 8 runs have come off this over already with 3 balls to go. Yeah, that's a better ball, but not the result they would have wanted. Oman, though, I tell you what, we'll say at this stage, it doesn't really matter how they come. As long as they come, a decent delivery is such a hard game on a bowler these days. A streakish shot, an outside edge, no third man. And yet another boundary. So a bit of momentum, then coming back just at the right time for Oman. Not how they would have liked, but certainly what they would have liked. Good ball. That's where she needs to be. She bowled a decent 4th delivery too. Aisha wants her fielders to be finer now, which is the right move, I think, with the way Maria is bowling. She's wicket to wicket, bowls with a flatter trajectory. Every likelihood of that ball going finer on either side. Good ball to finish right up in the block hole, just a single. An expensive 19th over then for Qatar comes to an end. Oman just 6 shy of the 150 marker, 144 now for the loss of 5. Right, the final over of the innings coming up. Kandira to finish it off. Goes onside, does Samira Khan. There is protection down at the boundary. They'll be looking for the second, but decide against it. It's been a seesaw of an innings for Oman, but they find themselves in a position that they would have liked to be at the toss. Priyanka mentioned how she would have liked to be around 150 runs mark at the end of 20 overs, and they're there and thereabout, using her feet, looking for the second, running hard. She's coming back for it. Could be a close call, but they're comfortably home in the end. Realizing it's the last over, they've got to go. Fiza is the set batter. She needs to be on strike as well, facing most of the delivery. So good piece of cricket and understanding by both sides. The throw wasn't strong enough. Here we go, Fizza on strike again. What can she do? Can she get a boundary? Yeah, that's one thing she struggled with. She's got the ones and twos coming. And as a result, she's batting run a ball. But no boundaries so far in this innings. Four runs of the over so far. This time she goes onside as she found the gap. The fielder is quick across the turf. They're coming back for the second. The throw is once again not strong enough. It was great in terms of agility, that effort by the fielder. Elsa once again. But another couple of runs to Oman as 150 comes up for them. 150 they are for 5 with 2 balls to go. Missed time, straight back to the bowler, a dot ball, and a dot ball as good as gold at this stage. The last ball of the over coming up then. Oman, bang on 150. Goes on the ground and a stumping opportunity. They'll finish with a wicket, I think, Qatar. The umpire raising his finger. And Oman finishing at exactly 150. 150 for 6 they have in their 20 overs. They might as well feel that they've got enough in the bank. And tell you what, Qatar really have to play well to hunt this total down. A good effort by them, considering where they were at the halfway stage, clawing their way back in. Some excellent fielding on display. And as a result, they've given themselves a chance. Not the way they would have liked to finish. The penultimate over in particular, going for runs. Hello and a very warm welcome back to the West End International Cricket Stadium here in Doha, Qatar, where we're all in readiness for the second innings of this first T20I between Qatar and Oman women. First of the 5-match series between these two sides. Oman batting first and setting a total of 151 runs for victory as Qatar gets underway. First run on the board. Bimanuel and Kandiru, the two batters for Qatar out there. The opening pair, and it's Syed to start proceedings with the ball. Right up in the block hole, not much you can do about it. Right on the mark was Syed on that occasion. Alifia Asif Syed, quite capable of making early inroads and picking up wickets. That's exactly what her side would want her to do here tonight. Oh, right on money. Within the line of the stumps, but nicely played, playing it late and dabbing it down for a single. That's one way to release the pressure. She comes, this was wide. Not wide enough though, letting it go through to the keeper. Dot ball, it's been a decent over so far. Just the 2 runs coming off it. Alifia Asif. Full toss on that occasion, and she's taken full toll of that. It was a poor last delivery. It had been such a good over till that point. But not letting that opportunity slip, which was crucial. Bimanuel getting the first boundary for herself and Qatar. They're 6 for none at the end of 1. It's the start of the second over now. Qatar off to a reasonable start, a boundary of the last ball of the first over. These two batters quite capable of providing their side the kind of start they need to hunt this total down. 151 to be precise is what they need to win this first out of 5-match contest. Another full toss. This time a fielder was found. They're coming back for the second and do so quite comfortably. The umpire in the meanwhile has signaled that as a no ball. So a free hit opportunity coming up for Qatar early in the piece. Exactly what they need to release the pressure. Here we go. Kandiru on strike. And she goes to offside, but there is a fielder protecting that boundary, looking for the second, so a free hit opportunity goes in vain. Ten for none they are now. Into the second over, off to a rollicking start. Looking confident. Good signs for Qatar early on. Aftab is under pressure. Slower delivery. A good change of pace. Good piece of thinking as well. Afida Aftab. Another slower delivery, but she's been able to hoik it and time it well. Straight to the fielder though. No damage done. It was a good looking shot. Promising signs for Qatar women early in the piece. They're finding the sweet spot of the bat. Slower in pace. Tempting, but a bit of restraint shown there by Bimanuel, and rightly so. Not easy to hit that ball slower in pace at and around that good length area. This time she goes straight though. Finds a fielder. Intentions are quite clear though, and she looks to be quite capable of finding those boundaries, something that was probably missing in the Omani innings early on. The two batters were quite happy nudging the ball around, getting singles. That's not been the case so far with Qatar. They've gone in with intent, an intent to score boundaries. A big appeal. This is close. They're almost pleading for that one. A close shout then to end over number 2. Qatar 2 done, and they're 11 for none. Will be interesting viewing that replay. Where did it pitch? Just on that middle leg stump and probably going down leg side. The ball seaming in. So another excellent decision by the umpire. The umpiring has been top-notch so far. Oh, that's a hit-me ball, and a no ball will be signaled once again. And it's going to the boundary. That's another telling difference so far between this innings and the one that preceded later. Oman had quite a few opportunities and quite a few freebies coming their way that they were able to, that they weren't able to make use of, rather. But Qatar, on the other hand, are pouncing on to any opportunity delivered to them. A free hit coming up. Alifia Asif is under some pressure now. She's got the license to go, Bimanuel. And a good delivery, right up in the block hole. Not much you can do about it, even in this day and age. That's where she needs to be. She's under a bit of pressure early in the piece. Conceding a boundary of the first ball of the over. It was a no ball as well. So she has a bit of chasing job to do. A bit of shape away from the batter, played straight down the ground. And was that an opportunity? It does look like one. We saw a few catches being dropped in the first innings. And we've already seen one here. It was a harmless delivery, but Emmanuel on the offensive, wanting to get another boundary. The intentions were right, couldn't quite get the execution. It was going down, going straight down the fielder's throat. But she's made an absolute mess of it. That's a better line, but the length has been found wanting. A few full tosses in this over already. This game so far has been nothing short of drama. We've seen intensity, we've seen resilience, relentlessness as well from Qatar. It was mixed with some sloppy effort in the field. The same pattern continues in the second innings. A dropped catch already, a few boundaries. And if you're watching this live on your TV screens, and whether you're tuned in live on YouTube, watching it on Qatar Cricket Association's official channel, don't go anywhere, because we might as well be in for a humdinger of a contest. Nicely dabbed away. They'll be looking for the second and should come back comfortably. A bit of yes and no. Poor piece of running. There was always two on the cards. And these missed opportunities might as well come back to haunt them later. These little things in cricket. Missed singles. Missed opportunities can have telling results in the end. Nicely bowled, equally well played. End of over number 3. Alifia completes her second. They're 19 now, Qatar. And they haven't lost a wicket yet. Right, as we look at that scorecard, Emmanuel off to a good start. 12 runs of 13 deliveries. Those fours have come through the onside, through the square leg region. Nicely bowled within the line of the stumps. They're looking for a single and they'll get it comfortably in the end. Alifia Asif, the opening bowler, and now Aftab into her second over. Drilled down the ground, and she's found the gap as well. And this is a fast outfield. Once it goes past that 30-yard circle, forget about it. Kandiru joining the party now with her first boundary. And Afida Aftab is under a bit of pressure already. Already 10 conceded of her 1.2 overs. And she's only into her second over. Qatar off to a rollicking start. Good piece of cricket. A boundary followed by a dab to point, was looking for a single. The idea was right. It's important that they don't do anything sloppy at this stage, Qatar. They're off to a reasonable start. They haven't lost a wicket. The required run rate is well within check, going at 6.86 and over. Down the ground once again. All they need to do at this stage is play percentage cricket. And they will always stay in the hunt. It's not a huge total, this. The pitch is far from daunting. What an opportunity for Qatar to win this first game, and a bit of a mix-up, a bit of yes and no. There is an appeal for a run out, and tell you what, just when we were talking, there was no real need of that single at this stage. Poor communication, and that's not the way Qatar would have liked to lose a wicket at this stage. They were going so well. Something happening out of nothing. They've only got themselves to blame for this run out. It was never on. It's been a recurring issue so far in this contest. Both sides guilty of poor calling. And there we saw yet another example of it. Flicked away, going straight to the fielder. She was ball watching there, never really looking at the partner. And by the time she tried to get back, it was too little, too late. Now Qatar, all of a sudden, losing a wicket, and Oman has a step in the door. Full toss, not getting the treatment it deserved, but end of a successful over for Oman. 25 they are now, Qatar, for the loss of 1. Right, this is interesting now. It seems that the captain herself has come into the attack, Priyanka Mendonca. Left arm orthodox spin. Coming to ball inside the power play. A full toss. It's gone up high in the air, landing safely though. Each time we got a penny for a bowler bowling a full toss, we would already be millionaires by now. And quite a few of those full tosses bowled in this contest. One area to identify and work on when they go back to the drawing board. This is a crucial over though. That's good bowling within the line of the stumps. She's got one job to do here for herself and her team, to pick up a wicket. That's exactly why she's there. Qatar losing a wicket just at the wrong time, just when they were cruising along. Driven away through the offside. And Jacobs get off the mark. It's a nice looking drive. Kandira, she's the dangerous customer for Qatar at the moment. Quite capable of clearing the boundary, going across the line. A question's been asked. turned down by the umpire, guilty of trying to play that ball across the line. Jacobs, and almost losing her wicket in the process. Let's have a look at that again. Wide of the crease. Was probably going down leg side as we come back live, but good ball within the line of the stumps to follow it up. Equally well played and run as they go through for a single. Just the 3 runs of this over so far. Mendonca, barring that first ball of the over, has been right on money. Bowling within the line of the stumps and choking the batters. This time it was wide, an opportunity for the batter to free her arms. And she obliged, finding that gap between the backward point and point. An excellent way to end the over. They are 32 now, Qatar, for the loss of 1 after 5. One telling difference between the two sides so far has been Qatar's ability in pouncing on to loose balls. There were quite a few of them bowled in the first innings, but Oman were rather content with working the ball around for 1s and 2s. Well, it's spin from both ends then. A full toss yet again. That's been the name of the game so far. The way a lot of spinners today have started bowling. And Ashok has done the same. Looking for a wide, but that was well within line. That wide line. Probably misreading the delivery on that occasion. Nicely swept, very nicely swept. And in fact, that ball will run away to the boundary. Keeping her eye on the ball till the very last moment. It's always a risky shot, a sweep. But he came down onto that one just at the right moment. And finding the sweet spot of the bat. That's what she's been able to do consistently so far in this innings. Kandiru getting yet another boundary. Nicely worked away. Very well played. Caressed it. Found the gap. The chase is on. And an excellent effort in the field. The fielder winning that race. Applauded by her teammates, and rightly so. It probably had 4 written all over it the moment it left the bat. If it wasn't for the fielder to valiantly chase that one down, hunted it down like a tigress. She hasn't really bowled too badly in this over. Kandiru has been able to make something out of nothing. Played 2 really good shots. Last ball of the old power play coming up. It was wide. It's gone up in the air. A simple opportunity. Accepted gleefully there by the fielder. And Qatar losing their second wicket on the last ball of the power play. It was wide, there was width on offer, trying to hit it too hard, playing away from the body and paying the price in the end. The power play ends then, an eventful one. They're 39 for the loss of 2 after 6. Right. Oh, going on to the back foot. First up was Kandiru, a risky option against left arm wicket-to-wicket bowler like Mendonca is. And had that ball missed, there would have been a huge shout for leg before wicket. Honours even, I would say, at the end of 6. Qatar, having a set better in Kandiru, would feel they've done a decent job in this power play, keeping up with the required rate, not letting it slip too far, still within reach. Oman, on the other hand, with 2 wickets bagged, would feel another couple of wickets here and they'll well and truly be on top. Swept yet again, and nicely swept. Swept to the boundary. Has been her go-to option in this innings. And she has definitely looked apart from both sides so far. Pouncing on the loose deliveries. That's one thing that separates her from others in this contest. Anything loose, anything off mark, and she has been able to capitalize. And then looking for a single. The idea was right. Seems to have a very good head on her shoulders too. Not just looking to hoik it and get boundaries, but when an opportunity arises, she is mindful of the value of singles, giving respect to the good deliveries, and that's important too. Yeah, yet again looking for another single. Mendonca, Priyanka the captain, minus that full toss which went to the boundary, has bowled particularly well in this over. Very well bowled yet again within the line of the stumps. An excellent over overall. 7 done, 43 are Qatar for 2. Right, the new batter in for Qatar, the captain Aisha coming out in the middle. And she's got a big job on her hands. She's off the mark straight away. As Sushantika Ashok starts her second over. She's picked up a wicket already. Seems to have a good control. He's gone straight down the ground. Didn't quite have the power on it. Just a single in the end. Lots of runs being scored in that long on region tonight. She goes straight and she's belted it magnificently. What a shot. What a magnificent shot. Never easy going straight down the ground. Down on one knee she went. It had the power, it had the leverage, and it had the legs. No doubt about it. It was wide as well. Shot of the night so far. She goes again straight down the ground. This time there's a fielder. Finding mid-off. But those two shots that she's played so far have stood out in terms of quality. Aisha, the captain. The first boundary of the match coming down the ground. She goes across the line. There's a fielder coming underneath it, and she's made an absolute meal of it. That, I tell you, might come back to rue Oman. Not the batter you want to drop. What an opportunity. Life given. It was there to be hit. She timed it. Not well enough for it to go over the boundary. It was an opportunity that should have been taken. It's been an expensive. Oh, what are they doing? A bit of a mix-up. This is the last thing they want at this stage. They're going all right. Hold your horses. 8 done, 55 they are for 2. Well, so far, Qatar moving in partnerships. Bimanuel, she's been out there since the beginning. Has looked in control. And Aisha, the captain, has joined her in the middle, and she looks to be quite assured and confident of herself as well. She's bowled well without a wicket, the captain, Priyanka. Into her third. Qatar moving at a run rate of 6.88. Required exactly 8. Something needs to give for Oman. Goes down on one knee, sweeps it, but there is protection down to the boundary, just a single. But yet another shot of intent by Aisha. Looks to be a batter with a range of shots. It was really heartening to see the 2 shots she played in the first over. And now showing she's got the ability to play the unorthodox shots as well. flighted up. And Kandiru, she had her eyes lit up when she saw that. Not quite getting to the pitch of the ball though. Trying to drag it to the onside. Well, they've definitely looked in command so far, these two batters. Inviting the drive was Mendonca. Right on the mark. That's where she's bowled 70% of her balls, and hence that economy rate well below 6. Kandiru is well set now. The last thing she would want is to give away her wicket. She goes straight down the ground, evading the fielder, coming back for the second comfortably. Moves on to 31 with that shot. She has to go all the way if Qatar are to win this contest. He's played out most of the overs, is well set, and must be seeing the ball like a football now. Nicely worked away, nudging it for a single to finish over number 9. Qatar are 60 for 2 at the end of 9. Here's a look at the bowling so far of Oman. The pick of the bowlers being Ashok, picking up a wicket. Slightly expensive, though, in terms of economy. Aftab going at an economy of 5.50. And Qatar, on the other hand, making sure they keep those partnerships coming. 25 for the first wicket. All of the partnerships so far have gone into double figures. Right, start of over number 10. The required run rate just going up a little bit from 8, and that's a hit me ball. That's not an area you want to bowl to. Kandiru, she particularly favors that onside. Not quite getting a boundary, although they're asking for it. But they comfortably return back for the second. 2 runs to start the over. The good thing about Kandiru's inning has been the fact that she's given respect to good balls. As we look at this field, they've got 2 men patrolling the boundary at long off and long on. They've got a deep mid-wicket in place. As Kandiru goes straight down the ground, protection again at the boundary. Oh, a play and a miss by Aisha. Good piece of bowling, a couple of dot balls, pressure's building. Goes down to the leg side. There is that deep Square leg in place. And a single to finish the over. And this is a comparison of the run rate of the two sides. At this stage, Oman were on the way up. Qatar, on the other hand, is going south. And hence that required run rate is rising. We'll take a drinks break now. And when we come back, we'll have the last half of Qatar innings for you. Right, that's the end of the drinks break then. 64 for 2 are Qatar at the halfway mark. Aisha, the captain, is out there batting on 8. And this partnership is key for Qatar. So often it happens with the breaks. Batting sides losing concentration and losing a wicket. Hopefully, Qatar will keep their focus. Nicely played, nicely timed, and an excellent piece of fielding as well. At the same time, keeping it down to just a single. The last wicket falling at 39. And since then, these two have motored along nicely. Having said that, the required run rate is slightly going up now. Kandiru has played 35 balls. It's been a runner ball effort. You can't help but get the feeling there has to be a couple of big overs. Mistimed. Going through for a single. A direct hit would be interesting. Missing it just by a whisker. Just the 2 runs of this over so far. They wouldn't mind it, Oman, as long as they can keep the scoring down to under 6 or even around 6 and over. Going back onto the back foot, Aisha. Finding the fielder. Yet again, she seems to have a bigger range of shots, does Aisha. Oh, that's a close shout. What happened there? Did that come off the pads? Because it looked pretty adjacent. If it did, well, let's watch that now. Yeah, that was a half-hearted shout by the bowler, really. A cleaner shout, and it would have been interesting. I thought that was pretty straight, that ball. Maybe a missed opportunity. Not appealing for that one. Kandiru, though, lives to survive another day. They're 68 for 2 at the end of 11 are Qatar. Not quite timed. It will not land safely between the two fielders at extra cover and long off. Just a single, but I think Kandiru has decided to go after the bowling now. It's about time as well. Nicely played away through the onside. Goes hard on that occasion, but finding the fielder. Just a single. Down the ground once again. It's been an excellent contest, and thanks very much to Qatar Cricket Association for organizing this bilateral series. Cricket in Qatar has come a long way indeed in relatively short space of time. It started as a recreational activity within the expat community, and now just get back to it as Aisha goes onside once again, and the fielder messing it up, should have been stopped, goes straight through the hands, and Aisha would gleefully accept that. All those runs count, and they come back to haunt you later. It was a good-looking shot, timing it well. It was traveling, but a regulation stop should have been stopped. Last ball of the over coming up. And a dot ball to finish. There's 77 now, Qatar for the loss of 2. You're just talking about how cricket has evolved in Qatar over the last few years. It started as a recreational activity and sport for expat community. And now it has developed into a structured national setup. In In recent years, there's been strong emphasis on youth development and women's cricket, making sure the growth of the game is sustainable. And today, Qatar cricket continues to move forward with ambition, diversity, and a clear vision for the future. And this series is another example of the commitment of Qatar to cricket and its development. A 5-match bilateral series, following which there will be a 5-match bilateral series between Qatar men and Bahrain starting tomorrow. And what a mouth-watering prospect that would be. Earlier in the day, the Omani men's side was in action against Zimbabwe in the ongoing T20 World Cup, unfortunately losing that game thanks to a heroic bowling effort by Zimbabwe, restricting them to a total of under 105 runs. And now it's their women fighting it out. They desperately need a breakthrough here, though, as these two, Aisha and Kandiru, the way they're going, are quite capable of running away with the show. It's worth keeping an eye on that required run rate. The one telling difference between the bowling performance of both sides has been in how many extras have been given. Qatar conceding far more extras than their counterparts. Off the back foot, just another single. Not able to break the shackles. Into her 4th over is now Shushantika Ashok. Has only conceded 26 runs and picked up a wicket as well. She's going to bowl out after this over. Aisha found the gap. No, not quite. Coming back for the second. Could be a close call. Throw not strong enough. They're comfortably back for the second. Talking about those couple of big overs, they have to come now for Qatar if they are to really stamp their authority on this game. Through the onside she goes, but finding the fielder yet again. It's the end of over number 13. Qatar are 83 for the loss of 2. Right, welcome back. As we watch this Qatar women's side in action, it's worth noting how quickly women's cricket has grown in Qatar. ICC affiliation obviously allowing Qatar women to compete consistently at an international level. And the focus in the past few years has clearly been on building depth, confidence, and match awareness. And you can see that with how the Qatari women have evolved with their fitness levels. 2 years ago, they were nowhere near as good in the field as they are now. particularly in areas like resilience, agility, and relentlessness. Beaten all ends up. It was worth noting Qatar team's intensity in the field in the first innings. A huge thank you to Oman Cricket as well for sending their side to Qatar. They've been building steadily over the years, have made remarkable progress with increased domestic structure and regular regional competition. They've gained valuable international experience, focusing heavily on key aspects of the game such as discipline and game awareness. She goes over the top. Has he got enough? Yes, she has. Thanks to the tip over the ball, but that's exactly what the doctor ordered for Qatar. They needed a big one. They needed someone to step up, and Aisha said, yes, it's me, I'm the captain, let me do it. It was an opportunity, had to run, it was slightly difficult, but the end result, heavily in favor of Qatar. Once again wide, once again played through the onside, once again drilled with power and authority, coming back for the second, good intensity shown. This is an excellent passage of play. And a huge over comes to an end. 93 they are now, Qatar, at the end of 14. With this partnership growing to 54 of just 48 balls. Aisha in particular has driven this innings into an acceleration mode, providing the much needed impetus, batting at an excellent strike rate, has been the pick of the batter so far in both sides, as far as I'm concerned. Once again, targeting that onside, wanting to play that slog sweep. She's played it particularly well in this inning so far. This might be a big over, as Hina Javed comes into ball. Flighted, hoiked, falling into a safe zone in the end. Falling into no women's land. A change from the standard expression. Nicely played. It's gone into the gap. There's a fielder coming across the turf. Would keep it to only a 1. Kandiru, she's slowly but surely moved on to 44. 6 shy of 50. How valuable of a knock has that been for Qatar? They still need 55 though, over 10 runs and over. And they need more of those shots down the ground. Nobody moved. It was drilled with power back to where it came from. Straight, gun barrel straight. And Aisha is turning it on for Qatar here. Playing a captain's knock. Straight back to the bowler, finishing with the dot ball. Just the 7 runs though, despite that boundary of the over. They need 51 of the last 5. 100 up for Qatar, and they've lost 2 wickets in 15 overs. Oh, thank you. Yeah, maybe. Thank you. Here is a look at the wagon wheel. They've scored runs all around the wicket, particularly favouring the onside. All the batters except Jacobs entering into double figures. Kandiru. Has been stabilising this innings. Has played the sheet anchor's role. And rightly so. Making room for herself, going straight down the ground, but this time the fielder is a lot straighter. They're coming back for the second though. And they've got to do that consistently. Showing good intensity. This time she's got a good piece of it. And this time she's cleared the fence. The umpire is waiting to see the signal. Yes, it's been signaled as half a dozen. Comfortably clearing that fence. Aisha. Yet another maximum. He wasn't quite sure at first, just confirming. But there was no doubt in Aisha's mind the moment it left her bat. What a captain's knock it has been. But tell you what, anti-climax. Just against the run of play. What a contest we're having. It's been a seesaw of a game. A nothing delivery, could have hit it anywhere. Ended up hitting it right into the fielder's hands. Running back, keeping her calm. She knew she had to take that catch. It was crucial. Qatar losing their captain. They're 109 now for the loss of 3. Don't go anywhere because this will turn out to be an absolute humdinger of a contest. New batter is in and was almost out as well on the first ball. Opportunity back to the bowler. One brings two, they say in cricket. And that was almost the case. She seemed to have hurt herself. And there is assistance coming onto the field. The physio is running in. There seemed to be some concern there for the bowler. And while she's being attended to, we'll take a break. Right, here we are back in the field. No damage done. Gunasekar will continue and finish her last over, although she is still holding her hand in pain. Over number 16 then comes to a closer, 110, needing 41 for victory in the last 4 overs. Right, the last 4 overs coming up then. A new batter at the crease in Shaheen Khan. Chandiru has been there since the beginning of this innings. And a lot of the outcome and well, what have we seen there? There was an opportunity that was presented by Shaheen, the first ball she faced. This was an action replay, almost an action replay of the shot she played earlier, not learning from the mistake and perishing as a result. Soft dismissal, has to be said. Trying to work it away, going for a single, and then shadow practicing the shot she should have played, really. Oman now well and truly on top after that wicket of Aisha. How crucial was that in the context of the game? Savannah Kumar is the batter in for Qatar. They've still got 6 wickets in hand, but the problem now is going to be that required run rate with their main batter out in the hut. Aisha getting out just at the wrong time. Qatar in a bit of spot of bother. Chandiru is still out there. She's going at a run a ball. Quite capable of hitting along the ground and boundaries, but we haven't seen any big hits from her so far, and that's exactly what Qatar needs at this stage. She likes playing that sweep though, and brings it out once again, yet again, and it brings the desired result for Qatar at this stage. So important for them to keep getting regular boundaries. Wrong line from the bowler there, drifting down leg side, and that brings up Kandira's half century as well. 51 of 49 deliveries. She's been the mainstay out there for Qatar, and she has surely given her side a hope to hunt this total down. Width on offer, but straight to the fielder. Could have hit it anywhere, hits it straight to the fielder. Remember, at this stage of Oman's inning, Qatar was clawing their way back in. But a few extras given away just at the wrong time. And that's been the main difference between the two sides, that column of extras. Qatar will have a lot to ponder upon at the end of this game as they go back to the drawing board. As over number 17 comes to a close, they need exactly 31 in the last 3 overs. Right, this is a crucial over, then over number 18. He goes to her preferred zone, but just a single. They're looking for the second. They come back for it. It was a bit of a late call, but they make it comfortably. Well run in the end. The intensity has to increase. It's not just the boundaries, but those quick 2s and 3s that can be the telling difference in the end of this game. Oman would be quite happy with that result. Singles won't hurt at this stage. Mistimed, yet another single. Kandira would be so disappointed with her effort if she's not able to get her side across the line. She's come so far, and as we speak. Was that a missed opportunity by the keeper? "14 balls, 27 runs to win, almost two runs a ball now." Goes across the line, but this is good field placement by the Omani captain, Priyanka. Realizing Kandiru's strength. Square on the onside, deep backward square leg. She's got a fielder place there. She hasn't got one there for Saravanna Kumar. She goes down the ground. In fact, through to the deep mid-wicket region and comes back for the second. 12 balls, 24 to win, 127 for Qatar at the end of 18. There is protection down there. She's got to do something different, something out of the box. Explore some options through the offside. Qatar with their backs against the wall now. How well has Oman maintained their discipline? Saravanna Kumar goes down the ground. No opportunity, but the fielder just overrunning it, and a much needed boundary for Qatar. It's been a mixed fielding effort so far from Oman. They've taken some good chances and dropped a few simple ones, accounting for some ordinary effort in the field. Saravanna, though, seemed to pack a punch, showing great intent and coming back for the second. Good awareness of the situation, realizing the throw was never going to be strong enough and running hard for the second. Excellent cricket that. Oh, she's bowled her. Has she bowled her? Yes. Through the gate. What a time to do it for your side. It's been a seesaw of a contest. But I keep saying this. This game might as well come down to who bowled more extras and who was more disciplined with the ball. Wicket to wicket, not providing any width. You miss, I hit. Oman with their noses in front at the 18.4 overs mark. Down leg side, losing her radar. Maria Jacob is the new batter out there. 16 runs needed of 8 balls, a couple of big hits. Can do it for Qatar. And this time, overcompensating. Wide, way outside off stump. Still 2 deliveries left in this over. And as it gets closer, nerves start to creep in, and it's natural. Completely natural, and almost another wicket. We saw over number 19, I believe, for Qatar, went for quite a few runs, including 5 wides. Oman, on the other hand, has been quite disciplined with the extras. Sweeps it. Has she found the gap? Yes, she has. It's kind of a no-brainer not to have that fielder out there at the deep square leg region with the number of shots she's played and the number of boundaries she's got. But they've paid the price with the boundary, and now what? It's come down to the wire. The final over coming up, and 10 runs needed. What a contest. What a humdinger of a contest we've had. Alifia Asif's side with the final over. It's heart in the mouth stuff contest this. Down the ground she goes. And well, they go through for a single. And this is exactly what Qatar needed. They want Kandiru on strike. And exactly what Oman does not want. A boundary here could seal the deal for Qatar. Alifia under tremendous pressure here, bowling this final over. And she comes again on a dot ball. What a time to do it. This is the right line, this is the right length as well against Kandiru. She has been found wanting outside that off stump. And yet again you see, whenever they've bowled her there, she seemed to have struggled. And as we look, they've got that deep square leg area covered too. This is good captaincy now from Oman. Well, a wild hoik down to the leg side, but no damage done, only a single. Hardly any timing on it. And right now, one can't help but feel that Oman have their noses in front in this game. Barring they don't do anything sloppy. 8 runs to win of 3 balls. Stopping the ball in her strides. Is that a mind game, or was she genuinely distracted by something coming in front of her eyes? I guess we'd never know. Last 3 balls coming up. Where does Maria go now? She has an opportunity to be a hero. Oh, she's bowled her! Syed has gone right through Maria Jacobs' defenses. Trying to use her feet, coming down the track. It was in fact an aggressive shot. But wicket to wicket once again, paying dividends. Going across the line, it was a length delivery all right, but the angle of the bat coming down all wrong. And Oman with that wicket now would well and truly feel that they are comfortably ahead in this contest. They've got the set batter Kandiru away from strike. Khatija is in. And only 2 balls to go. It has to be a miracle now. It has been an excellent contest nonetheless. Going right down to the wire. Nothing to choose between these 2 sides, that's for sure. And another dot ball. And that's the insurance, the security that the Oman team needed, because they cannot lose this game given that they bowl a legal delivery. What a game it has turned out to be. Nothing to choose between the 2 sides. And that's it, the final ball of the innings. Oman coming out on top in this contest. And it's thanks largely to their performance, their disciplined performance with the ball, conceding fewer extras, keeping their calm, but they've only just gotten ahead of Qatar. Hats off to Qatar as well for the way they've played. Showed resilience, showed attitude, and they were absolutely relentless, particularly in the second half of the first innings. The result, however, not going their way. They will be disappointed, but they can take a lot out of this contest and come out with their heads held high. Right then, the first of these 5 games, this bilateral series between Qatar and Oman. Oman winning it in the end by a close margin. Well deserved, they're celebrating all around, but don't go too far. We'll be back with the presentation in about 10 minutes from now. The stage was set, the spirits were high, and the talent was unstoppable. This first game of the bilateral series, the much awaited bilateral series between Qatar and Omani women. And what a fantastic contest we had, honestly. It was a seesaw of a contest. Oman winning the toss, batting first, and scoring 150 for 6. And Qatar at one stage seemed like they were going to hunt it down, hands down. But unfortunately for them, they fell short by 7 runs. But nonetheless, there were some excellent performances all throughout this game by the likes of Aisha, the Qatari captain, scoring 43 runs. JD Gunasekar from Oman scoring 30 of just 28 balls. And Fiza once again from Oman scoring 30 of 28. But before we highlight the player of the match performance, could we please call upon the losing captain Aisha to please come forward and have a few words with us? Aisha, hard luck with the game, but it was a close contest. Lots of positives to take out of this game?
Yes, I think the batting unit worked really well, and yeah, just that loss of 7 runs is really painful. We have really worked hard for this, and I think we just need to work on our bowling and fielding. I think that's why we can catch them. Yeah.
Do you think conceding extras was the turning point in this game?
I think around 25 extras we have given, and that's really not acceptable. So I think, yeah, the team will work on this.
All right, Aisha, thank you very much for the chat and all the best for the next game.
Welcome. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winning captain, can I please call upon Priyanka to come forward and have a few words? Priyanka, just a dream start to the series, and what would you put it down to?
I genuinely have no words. I think this match is nail biting. Thank you to our coaches. Thank you to my girls. I think they've been really on, because we just came from a tournament and we've played about 4 matches. So we are actually really energetic and pumped up, and we're looking forward for this.
At the beginning of the game, you said you wanted to go at run a ball and score around 150. Was that thought unified and the same after the halfway mark?
Yeah, it's always good to have a reachable target, but I think 150 is something that gave us a bonus, and that's why the fight was till the end.
Well, thank you very much for your kind words, and all the best for the next game.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, time now for the Player of the Match award. And there was one person, one cricketer who stole the show clearly in this contest, scoring 37 runs and picking up that all-important wicket of Aisha. Can I please call upon JD Gunasekar to come forward? And could I also please ask Mr. Hamad Al Megaisib to come forward and present the Player of the Trophy award? JD, don't go too far because we'd like to have a word with you. First game of the contest, how important is it to get your act right there?
I guess we all want to win the first game, which is the important, stepping stone to the rest of the games, and I guess we clearly did that today. So kudos to the girls, and well played. I would say well played, Qatar team.
And Gunasekar, what was the plan? Usually T20 is about big slogging and hitting, but you were quite calm out there, playing those shots with a straight bat and trying to rotate the strikes. What was the plan behind that?
I guess we know one of us has to take a long and deep, so I had the role today. I guess one of us will take the role each and every day. So today that was my role, and just to stay there till the end, and that's what did this today for us.
Well, thank you very much, JD. We thoroughly enjoyed your innings, and we'd like to wish you all the best for the future.
Thank you so much. Cheers.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Oman winning that game quite comprehensively in the end, but Qatar didn't go down without a fight. We'll see you soon for the next game.